Coming up on Sbu TV, what to buy your child for Christmas, and a sneak peek at a student's play about the effect technology has on our lives. Hello and welcome to Sbu TV. I'm Shannon Shepard.
And I'm Tyler Diedrich.
Buying gifts for a toddler this holiday season, you may be surprised what they're hoping for. Conor Mooney went Christmas shopping.
Presents as a kid, opening boxes with stuffed animals, maybe an Etch-a-Sketch or a new sweater from mom? If so, you may be surprised to hear what kinds of gifts kids are getting nowadays.
A lot of parents are going for those adult gifts for that younger kid.
When I was 5 years old, I might have expected to get something like, say, frog for the holidays. Instead, more and more, kids are expecting to get something like these for the holidays.
I have a almost 2-year-old who uses my phone and is playing with apps all the time. We were actually just talking about how this year the Apple iTouch is becoming one of the top gifts for kids even like 4, 5, 6 years old.
In fact, DeSimone says toys that don't use technology might even confuse kids.
Nowadays, if you give your child who's 18 months old or 2 years old, a stuffed animal, they're going to look and try to see what it does. They're going to squeeze the nose, they're going to squeeze the stomach, and if it doesn't do anything, they're going to think it's broken.
But not everyone is giving into buying technological gifts.
My goddaughter is currently 10 months old. When she was born, I got her a charm bracelet that I could keep adding charms to. Stuffed animals and toys are always good, but for a kid who's that young, who's only not even a year yet, something more meaningful I think would be better.
Although gifts may be changing, the giving spirit may not be.
Even though I'm a marketing person and a person who comes from the toy industry, I still want my child to be as excited when they open up their present under the tree as they possibly can be.
For Sbu TV, I'm Conor Mooney.
Some advice to holiday shoppers: according to DeSimone, the earlier you start your shopping, the more money you tend to spend.
'Tis the season to spread holiday joy. Kate Glennon has the story.
You hear the encouraging bell rings every year, but some people may forget what Christmas is all about. Through the Toys for Tots Foundation, the St. Bonaventure baseball team is getting into the holiday spirit and giving back. The team held a fundraiser to collect toys for those less fortunate in the community, but they did more than just accept donations.
The game today, they are all bringing a present too for one of the local children.
Junior baseball player Austin Ingraham couldn't think of a better way to volunteer his time.
Makes me feel really good. Obviously Christmas is a time of giving, and knowing that what we're doing here is going to help make some children's Christmases a little brighter is pretty cool.
For Sbu TV, I'm Kate Glennon.
For more information or to make a donation, go to toysfortots.org.
Karim Troncelliti's senior capstone is a must-see. Dan Mitchell previewed what to expect.
Who really cares what all 1,000 of our friends are doing every minute of their daily tweeting existence? I don't even want them as my friends anymore. Too much responsibility.
A powerful message that Karim Troncelliti's latest play is themed around. Text Me, which was written by Troncelliti, takes a look at the ways technology has degraded the intimacy of human interaction.
I'll text you.
What's really cool about this show is it kind of shows that the digital world is kind of like this very sterile environment for interaction, meaning that there's not that level of personality that you get when you walk up to someone, or if you see someone and you throw your hand up. Poking someone isn't the same thing as, waving from across the hickey, for instance. It's a representation of an interaction, not a real interaction.
Troncelliti spent 8 months in China and says coming back here drove him to write the play.
When I came back, I was almost in culture shock when I got back to St. Bonaventure. And I was sitting in the dining hall, and I would just see people always with their cell phones in their hands constantly, and they were always texting.
And what can students expect from the show?
People might feel a little, they might not know how to feel about it, but in the end, I think they're really going to like it because it's something completely different.
For Sbu TV, I'm Dan Mitchell.
Tickets are on a first-come, first-served basis. Text Me can be seen at Garrett Theater on December 7th at 7:30. Doors open at 7.
There's going to be a new home to 716 Wayne Street, and members of the community of Olean are not fond of these plans. Sbu TV's Brittany Whalley took a look.
After nearly 3 months of patiently waiting, local restaurant owner and entrepreneur John Ricci's wish was granted. In a 4-3 vote held by the Olean City Planning Board, Ricci's request for a permit to open up a gun and ammunition shop was approved. The bigger issue for the neighborhood is the shop's soon-to-be location, within 2,000 feet of the Olean Middle School. In fear of the reoccurrence of the 1974 Olean High School shooting, when 17-year-old Anthony Barbero, an honors student and member of the school's rifle team, shot at pedestrians from the third-floor window, ultimately killing 3 people and injuring 11. Emily Sorokes, an Olean resident, believes the shop will be a danger to the community.
I mean, it doesn't really seem like a safe idea. I understand that maybe there's not an available space for businesses in a small town, but it kind of just seems like asking for trouble. It's like putting a bar in a college town. You know that there's going to be like illegal behavior that goes on, and you know that kids are going to be curious and want to go into the stores.
The City Planning Board decided that Ricci's gun and ammunition business does not pose as a significant threat to public safety. Ricci plans on following strict rules and regulations so he does not attract the wrong crowd.
Signage is going to be held to a minimal. I've already checked with the city code enforcement. I'm going to make sure that I'm, under the size required. It'll be a small sign, probably on the east side of the building, so you won't even see it from the road.
For Sbu TV, I'm Brittany Whalley.
There's no set date for when the shop plans to open. A new book reflects on a period that lives in St. Bonaventure infamy. I took a look. The Father, the Son, and the Sweet 16 is the latest addition to St. Bonaventure fans' Christmas lists. The book gives new details on the 2003 academic and athletic scandal that rocked the university. Professor and 1959 St. Bonaventure grad Paul Wieland is the author.
President of the university literally admitted a player and forced him to be admitted and made eligible who was ineligible.
Wieland's talking about Bob Wickenheiser, the former university president and the man at the center of the scandal.
He was insistent that he was going to bring the school back to national prominence, and the way he tried to do it, unfortunately, was not the right way.
Among the book's revelations, Jamil Terrell wasn't the only player whose grades Wickenheiser meddled with.
J.R. Bremer was the player, and it's all in the testimony to the NCAA, and this is what people testified to, including professors who were pressured by Wickenheiser to get him out of here, change his grade from incomplete to passing.
Wieland also hopes to prove the innocence of former athletic director Gothard Lane, whose contract wasn't renewed in the scandal's wake.
I just had to write the book because Lane really got shafted and he couldn't get a job for years. And the NCAA officially cleared him, said he was the only guy that didn't do anything wrong. He was the whistleblower, really, and no one listened to his whistle.
Wieland said he wrote the book not only to set the record straight about arguably St. Bonaventure's darkest days, but also to serve as a cautionary tale.
If that can happen here, it can happen any place, and this is just another part of the degradation of college sports.
For Sbu TV, I'm Tyler Diedrich. The Father, the Son, and the Sweet 16 is available on Amazon.com for $9.99. That's all this week for Sbu TV. I'm Tyler Diedrich.
And I'm Shannon Shepard. For all of us here in the Coop Lab, thanks for watching.